let's talk about this. Let's talk about why you should do a gender studies degree. Okay, so let's get ahead of the propaganda. There are a lot of people out there who would like to tell you that it don't make sense to do a gender development degree because the only thing you can do with that is to go and teach at UWI. Like teaching at UWI is not a real job. Most of the people who are talking to you today are teaching at UWI. That's how we're employed. We're securing our bag in that way, right? But when people say, oh, why should I do a gender studies degree, or what can you do with a gender studies degree? I often say to them, what can't you do with a gender studies degree? So the first thing is, I would like everybody to open their minds and to think about somebody you know who just talk bare foolishness. They always have the worst takes. Every time something happens in the news and they come to talk to you about it, you absolutely cannot believe that that is the perspective they have on the thing that has happened in the news. Chances are 10 to 1 that person does not have a gender studies degree. So a gender studies degree stops you from talking foolishness to your friends because it teaches you critical thinking, right? Gender and development degree stops you from making certain assumptions. It stops you from being gullible. It stops you from being easily led. It stops you from walking through the world living from a place of your biases, because it teaches you critical thinking. And critical thinking is really about learning how to look deeper, how to analyze. It's understanding something to the point where you can explain it, and it's looking beyond what's in front of you to what caused this. What is the historical basis of this? What's the social basis of this? I find that a lot of people love to say, oh, I just saw the thing set. A gender studies degree will help you to understand why the thing set so. And a gender and development degree in particular is going to help you to set it in a next way, right? A gender and development degree also teaches you to think self-reflexively. So what are your biases? Who taught you what you believe? Why do you believe it? And do you actually believe it? How does your belief in this thing play into other systems, other power imbalances that are occurring and that are very damaging? Do you have any proof otherwise? And what is the bias? What am I bringing to any situation? So when you're thinking about any degree, no, that's not where I'm going. So IGDS gives you a degree that is in gender and development, which is actually unique, because having a degree in gender and development prepares you to think at a different level. It's good to start with thinking about, so when you're thinking about a degree, right, before I go into the nitty gritty, because I know people want nails, they're like, call name, tell me what my job title will be. But before I go into that, I want to give you some guidance as somebody who has a couple of degrees and is out here in the streets trying to make money. When you are thinking about a degree, it's important for you to think about what you want to do. What do you want to do, and how you can put that degree in service to what you want to do. There is no degree that you get that is going to absolutely 100% launch you into the career of your dreams. We have doctors out here unemployed, right? And so it's about you thinking about, what are the degrees that I need to get? As Miss Nicely said, what is the minor that I need to get? What are the clubs and societies that I need to join? What are the internship opportunities that I need to take? What do I need to do over my summer period to align yourself with where you want to go? Because most people don't just want to be a general thing. People don't just want to be a doctor. They want to be a pediatric specialist, right? People don't just want to do gender. They want to do gender and environmental studies. I want to do gender and sexuality. So before you actually go further into any degree program, sit down and ask yourself, what's my end goal? Where do I ultimately want to go with this, right? But when you're working with a gender degree, it prepares you. It's a good start to go into other fields. And it's also good because you can continue in, all the way up to a PhD in gender and development. And it opens a lot of doors for you. One of the places that you can work is human rights. Javion has said that he works in human rights. Ajwa also does work around equality. I also work in human rights. Dr. Carpenter, all of us here have that type of human rights background, but we're all doing it differently. You can run your own organization. You can work for another organization. You can work as a consultant, you can do training, you can do advocacy. Human rights are significant right now because a human right frame is integral to basically anything that we can do. Everything, including health. You need to take a human rights approach to it so that you can understand that people deserve the same quality service regardless of where they come from, who they love, who they have sex with, all of what their bodies look like, all of that stuff. A gender studies degree also prepares you if you want to go into communication. Right, both Dr. Carpenter and I work in communications. It prepares you to be a journalist, prepares you to be a vlogger, communication specialist, content developer, and public relations. Now, for people who I mean, y'all are living in the social media age. You know that the capacity to create content that is engaging and informative is key to doing your own brand building. And if you have a gender background, it means that you're able to give people information that allows them to navigate their own lives. It allows them to build stronger relationships. It allows them to build stronger communities. It basically allows them to get out some of the foolishness out of them head and think more clearly. And I don't feel like there's anybody who don't want that. We have Simsoul sessions, we have Tammy Chin, we have Yendi, we have everybody out here telling us how to live a better life. A gender studies degree is going to help you to do that, right? If you are social minded and you have an interest in social work, social justice, going into social services, to work with the elderly, to work with the youth, to work in community development, a gender studies degree is also going to prepare you to do that, right? If you're interested in working for the government agencies because you know them offer some nice little packages and you get the time off and you get health and all of these other things that the government agencies give, yes, a gender degree is going to prepare you to do that, in particular because if you look at the manifestos for both of the political parties right now, all of them are very gender focused, which means that we are going to need more gender focal points, and we're going to need more people who are capable of gender thinking, gender sensitive thinking in all of the government agencies. So gender and development is actually a growth area right now, and any government is concerned with the development of the nation. So somebody who is capable of development thinking is always going to be an asset there, right? Law, yes, that might require that you go and get another degree on top of this degree, but you know, stocking and piling degrees is the way that we're going forward. So yes, a gender degree prepares you to do law. And even things like, you know, psychology, if you want to be a therapist, you will have to add to that. So I have a student who she did a gender minor, and she is a psychologist, and she said to me that the gender minor was actually one of the most important parts of her education because she can think in a way that the other people in her cohort are not able to think. And she was actually the valedictorian of the class, and I mean, she's just pulling in scholarships that I don't even know. She's really smart. You can do policy if you're interested in writing policy. We need people who are capable of doing policy. There is always space for more people who can do policy, who can think about policy, review and write policy. Because policy is basically what moves countries forward. If you're interested in international affairs, you might be one of those people who wants one of those jobs that has you traveling. Yes, a gender degree does prepare you for that. If you want to be a diplomat, if you want to work in the public service, also if you have an interest in research. Now here's the thing for research, right? I go over and I live my life. People like to think that, oh, research, boring. I'm in a want to research, baby. Research is money. It is 1,000% money if you know how to do it right. See, she's clapping because she knows, right? Research is money because we need research. Like people just out here planning programs and interventions with no basis. Them attack with them chest and them wrong and strong. No, research is the thing that's going to move you away from wrong and strong to I can say this with my chest because I have vacative. And a gender degree, actually, like one of the first things we're teaching you in year one is research. So we are preparing you for that, right? And because the gender and development degree is basically like a 2-for-1 degree where you're getting gender, which is a standalone thing, development, which is a whole other degree that you'd have to plan for, and we're giving you both of them for the low price of one, you are already ahead of the game. You are saving money. Yes, you're being kind to your purse, right? And then, you know, other things like if you want to go into project management, you want to go into project coordination, there are lots of people who will, and all of the things I'm telling you are based on either people I know personally, people who have done this through foreign universities locally here, what I've seen them do with the gender degree, and then also the research, because I have to do research. I can't come here and talk to the wrong and strong in orientation, right? People go on to work in media, they go on to work in film production. You know, if you're interested in community outreach, you're interested in being an environmentalist, this degree really positions you to do all of that. So the possibilities are endless. If you want to do, you know, you want to be a union organizer, all of that type of stuff. So the degree positions you to do all of that and other things, because I don't plan to come here and list out 55 things that you can do with the degree to you, because, well, that would be boring. Quite frankly, that would be quite boring. So the thing I'll say to you is this. One of the most important things that you will learn is how to think about how you think. How to think about how you think and how to think about what you think. Welcome to the unit. Thank you for making this fabulous decision to move yourself forward in a way that makes sense for you as a person, your communities, and the country. we will see you around these interwebs.